Another segment of Tibby's Marathon Style class, which is not brought to you by Snacklins, but they are. They're so freaking good.
We're snacking today.
I know, only 3 ingredients. All right, I've said that before, and now,
Still true.
back them, they're $5.29 back. They're very expensive, but I love them. They're really good. Okay, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So today's segment, for lack of a better word, we called it tall versus small. And the idea is to give you very, very great visual examples of what we mean by this and how to work in all your proportions and all those great tools that you have in order to feel your very best. So we've got a lot of different guests coming onto the show, but our main hosts here are Grace and Claire, who are both super stylists from the New York store. So what I want to say quickly before you guys do a deep dive here is that you guys are equal in my DMs, right? Like just as many small guys DM me as the tall guys. So I get the small guys saying, why is everything made for someone tall? And the tall guys are like, what the fuck is happening here? It's all for the smallies. It's for neither. It really is designed for everyone, and we're going to show you how to make that work. So we're going to dive right into these guys who are wearing the same outfits, but you guys are quite different heights. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm Grace, and I am a stylist at the Tibby Soho store. And just to kind of give you a reference of my height, I am 5'1", and my typical sizes usually range in extra small and 0. And Claire?
Yeah, I'm 5'8", wearing a little heel.
Yeah. So as you can see, right now we have on the Fundamentals Tropical Wool Max Blazer, our Stella pants, as well as a cropped rib. And this is just to showcase how both styles, or I should say all styles, work for both heights. We obviously have done a bit of hacks to kind of allow this to be a little bit more proportional in our body types, or I should say our height types.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
yeah. It is now.
Yeah.
Done.
And
Trademark.
My height types. My rule of thumb, or I should say one of my tricks that I happen to use, and this is something that is constantly asked in my DMs, are the Stella pants, and how someone as small as I can wear them without getting them altered. And as we've kind of talked a few times, and if you're new to our lives, this is a great way for you to kind of be introduced to our Stella pant and not necessarily be so, I should say, scared of, committing to them. Is I just use one of my scrunchies, and this is something that I literally have all over my house. I wear them every day, especially going to the gym, coming to work. I utilize them to kind of allow this scrunch portion around my ankle, and what this gives is literally the ability to kind of move the length up and have it puddled. And depending on where I have it on my leg, it can give something as this sculptural kind of tent feel, or even if I wanted to just puddle in the front and have it just kind of brought up in the back, no one's the wiser. It kind of gives me that vibe, and you can do that with a number of different items, and that can be a strap to a heel, or even one of our new sandals, such as the Ashton, where you can just tuck it in the back. Anything that's a sling bag can be utilized.
Yeah, pretty much anytime I'm walking in the city, if I have a sling bag, I'll just tuck my Stellas or any long pant, my Sids as well, just right under that strap, or right under my sneaker.
Yeah, because I think what you want to do here is a lot of people figure out okay, if I'm going to wear a longer pant, I'm going to always have to wear it with a 4-inch heel. And you don't ever want to get locked in to viewing a pant that can only be worn with a certain type of shoe, because that means you're going to only have a certain type of vibe when you wear it. And you do want to be able, if you were wearing a sneaker with that, I've got the
Blue Scarpa.
the blue scarpas here. And so one thing we do a lot is we take the front of the ties and then you wrap them around the bottom of your pants the way you have it there, and it kind of does that flare out as well. But it all, every single time when you go with, here's the pant I want to wear, and here's the shoe I want to wear, you put it on and you're like, what can I do to make it work? And when you view your closet and your activity in there as making it work, you come up with the most creative solutions. Rather than having to rely on something that you've been told somewhere.
I think as you're living life, you're always thrown certain things, or you're just I gotta figure it out. And you know what? It can come down to clothes, but don't be hesitant to invest in things that you feel are a little bit maybe on the longer voluminous side. Lean into it, or we'll have those hacks ready for you, depending on which stylist you work with, that can be utilized to help
And we
you.
talk about adjusting the eye a lot, and length is a great thing that anytime I feel like we're in the fitting room with someone, they'll put on the pant and sometimes they want to take it right off because they're like too long, it doesn't fit. First of all, just ease into it, have the discussion of how to fix these things, and just, you're not asking, does this fit? You're asking, do I feel good in this? Do I feel like myself? And then we'll work from there. So, I mean, we're also wearing the same pants. I'm wearing a size 6 in the Stella.
And my true size 0.
Yeah, so they're hitting us at the same spot. I'm right now, since this crop, like the ribbed t-shirt and cropped, hits me a little higher, I don't want my entire like stomach to be hanging out, so I pulled them up to right on my belly button. They hang straight. As you can see, they still are like slightly hitting the ground here. If I'm walking around, I normally keep like my little curly hair ties because they don't cut off my circulation, which is important.
That's key.
Yeah, and then I'll just pull it out. I'm walking
Okay,
around.
wait, so you don't have, okay, all right, I like
Yeah,
that.
it's
You've got
quick.
it on underneath.
I got it there. I have them on my wrist too.
Okay, I have to do, I know, I need to do those little ties
Yeah.
in the self fabric.
Yeah.
That would be like the genius thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, Derek's
Look at
like,
us.
damn.
Yeah, we're like,
Because
ooh,
that's
Love that
our-
idea.
write
Watching
it
it
down.
in
Yeah,
real
this is
time.
live.
Love idea.
Yeah.
But also, when we're talking about cropped, I feel like this is such a tool when it comes to those who are a little, smaller and short torso. This is gonna be that kind of top that cuts exactly where it should and gives you a clean line without having to tuck in and have extra fabric around. So feel free to utilize a crop piece as one of your basics, your go-tos, to kind of just allow this to kind of be going again to big slim skin,
Yeah.
where this is the slim, this is the big, and then if you want to take this guy off, it's the skin. And then our Max blazers, which are the new silhouette that we brought in. As you can see, they're just a little bit more slimming, or I should say more straight than the Leah.
It's definitely a slimmer cut.
Yeah,
for
right
sure.
through the waist.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more structured compared to our Liam. And we just lean into the length of it. Don't get scared or feel a little intimidated by it if it comes here to the thigh. All it is just giving you a little bit more options when it comes to having it open like this, if you happen to wear a dress underneath, or any of the other styling factors that come.
So I think what's important here, and we'll bring out the next team here, but I think what's important here is the questions I get right after we do a live or right after I post something is they're like, well, what if I'm tall or what if I'm small? And you guys can see, same outfit, totally different vibe, the way that they're like zhuzhing it up. And actually, I mean, it's the same vibe.
Yeah, we did the
Same
same
vibe.
vibe.
Same vibe.
Same vibe, but
Same vibe.
different heights, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
cool. All right, guys, come on out.
Yay!
So now, up next, we have Carolina, who is our numbers guru, and she is our planner. And she is amazing because she never asks us to dumb it down, make it average, or anything like that. Yay, Carolina.
Yay, I don't.
You don't. And you can tell, Carolina is anything but average. And then we have Shruti, and Shruti handles all of our product development, and she makes sure that all of the fabrics and everything, that the workmanship is as rich as what you expect.
Yeah.
So, small and tall, or like just different in heights. I don't like the small, tall, but you know what I mean. So what are you guys wearing? Tell us your heights.
Well, tell us your heights first off.
So 5'3". Yeah. I'm 5'11". There's a bit of difference. Sorry,
Yeah.
Shruti.
Yeah,
It's okay.
for sure. And just to talk about Shruti's sizes, this is a size 2 in the regular balloon pant, the Tropical Wool Fundamentals. This is an extra small in the Liam. This is a small in the Giselle. And we have our Pedro shoes kind of just brought into play. And what we're playing here is the fact that in the regular, though we're under the 5'4" feel, it still plays. One of the little tricks that we like to do, if you feel like this is a little too much of length, is literally just to roll the cuff of this guy just to emphasize a little bit more, showcase your ankle. All this does is allow your shoe to have a little bit more presence, have a little more of a clean line underneath. We also have here it belted, and this is just again creating maybe a little bit more refinement. Maybe you're going to the office. It's not necessarily something you have to be married to, but we just decided to put it on this segment just to kind of show that this can be utilized as a tool as well. If you do want to showcase your ankle a little bit, feel free to. put it up.
I love this pant hiked up.
Yeah.
Like, I think, so
And
if
it
we're gonna
looks so
hike her
good.
up, we're gonna just do this, and you're gonna take the one to the last here. Can you breathe? You can breathe, right? Yes!
Can you breathe? Can you eat? Eat.
Oh,
Yeah.
So in here, now that we've done this, you also may wanna leave it down, or just really, like, I find too, if I'm wearing these in the summertime, like, really hiking them up and showing the ankle with like a great sandal is wonderful.
For sure.
Yeah, or even, but then even in the wintertime, I've done it with like a fishnet tight and like a really over the top shoe, and then, yeah.
I also like
Agree.
just one of those are like Leo boots from last year, the
Yeah.
Bronsons that were coming in, since it's just sleek and fitted. You can kind of put that under for fall, and it's just gonna allow that ankle portion and that pointy toe to really work with this style.
Yeah.
And then we have the Liam. We have so many comments when it comes to the Liam being my father's jacket.
Yeah.
And it's really, again, what Claire kind of said, while you're in the fitting room, while you're being introduced to the style, to really have your eye adjust and see what this offers. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't have structure here on the shoulders. It's meant to be over the shoulder. It's meant to kind of have this length, you know, where we don't believe in fingers, that's the thing. But what we do believe in is just kind of allowing a big cuff to be in play, or even if we want to scrunch this up with one of your curly little guys. Thank you.
And you can see, so this Liam here, if you come in a little bit closer, Shruti, you can see that we've double faced it here, so that when you do pull up the cuff, you're not seeing like the contrast of a
Right.
lining fabric. And I know that is important to a lot of people, so we did double face that.
Yeah.
This is a bartender's trick. This
is
is
a
a
Yeah.
bartender's thing.
I know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's like a hospitality thing when it comes to, but it comes in all different walks of life, just to kind of have this. And all we're doing is, again, playing into the notion of big, slim skin,
Yeah.
where we have skin here, slimness of this, the sculpted of this, and the proportion of it hitting perfectly, and this is the big.
Right.
Also, don't be, again, this is the Liam and it has a bit of length, but when you put something sculpted like this on the bottom, it really plays into the proportion and not like making you feel overwhelmed by fabric. What you're doing is putting a play of proportions and leaning into volume, but actually making it work for those who are a little shorter.
Yeah, I just want to say, and I'm both of you guys here, this is where, like, when you are looking at those proportions and shape and sculpture, it is so boring if you dress to like the skinny jean, the skinny leg. You know, if everything that you're putting on is geared towards like creating like the thin leg or creating height, I mean, I would be so bored because you're
Yeah.
so freaking chic here, and you're not trying to like. I'm not looking at you thinking, oh, "We made you look tall," like
Yeah.
Carolina. That's no. We made you look like you
good.
feel like
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
great. Like, I'm sorry,
Just
that looks great.
Yeah, but I'll hand it over to Claire and she can kind of go on with Carolina.
We'll
on
talk
the style.
through the tall segment of it. Carolyn, you can come just a little bit closer so we can see it. She's wearing the exact same look as Shruti was. It's a Liam blazer. Carolina's wearing a medium. She's wearing the balloon pants in a size 8, and this is the long length of it. And same Giselle tank top. As you can see, from the eye and from what we can all see, the same rules really apply. The drop shoulder is like long to her fingertips here, and the same thing, it should hit right down here at her ankle. She also still has the option to roll it up. So it's not about how tall you are, it's just the fits, which is really all that we're trying to look at here, is how you feel in the fit.
Yeah, so there's no way that you're like definitively like
No.
this is better for a tall person.
No.
It all works.
Yeah, I actually also own them in a size 4
Mhm.
when I want in black when I want them like around my waist.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously a bit more space here, but then I usually wear them with like a boot in winter, and then that's
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the main takeaways here, is don't put yourself into this, I'm a size 4, I'm a size small. It's completely a different way of looking at things. You're looking at the fit. So I also have a client who is 5'11", by all measurements would tell her to be a 0, but she likes a size 4 because of the length it provides her. So there is really this kind of back and forth between what is good for you.
Well, it's funny because when I was in Paris, we were shopping at Printemps.
Yeah.
Tracy and I were at Printemps, and we were shopping in the vintage department. And I was thinking how much when you are looking at vintage clothing, you're so trained to not look at the
Yes.
size because the size is irrelevant. What if it's from the 40s or the 60s? Like, sizing is totally irrelevant. So you're constantly pulling things out and judging it very objectively on how's this going to lay on me?
Such
Is
a
this
different
gonna like
standard.
just like, is it gonna hang? Is it gonna twist? Is it gonna torque or be more fitted? And that is such a healthy way to look at approaching clothing. And it's why when we talked about the good fit earlier, it's about learning as much as you can so you can get to the point where you can look at something online or look at it in a store and think, that's gonna feel easy on me. Or if I just go up or down, it's gonna make me feel this different way. Because what I hate is the idea of vanity sizing.
Mhm.
You know, I don't like if you go into a store and someone's like, you must be a 0. And you're like,
No.
let's fuck that.
Yeah, we don't dress for
You don't
one
need to
thing.
say that. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, really just embrace the idea of buying a feeling rather than a specific size. It all comes in time. I promise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. And to just kind of touch base on that as well, I range from an extra small to a small, and that's a 00 to a 4, and it really depends on the vibe that I want. And of course, length plays its part, but if you kind of lead into small hacks, things to make it a little bit more approachable to you, you'll kind of allow yourself to engulf in these sizes to get the presence that you're really looking for.
So can we show these guys? in
Yes.
Yes,
So-
of course. So,
Second look.
Yeah.
Come on up.
and guys, these are our indigo A-line skirts that we presented for fall fundamentals. I'm gonna take the spotlight. And as you can see, Shruti, what size are you wearing?
This is 26.
26?
I'm
And-
29.
Yeah. And these are your regular jean size, correct?
Yeah, Shruti wore this to work today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe she
I
already
did.
had this.
I already had this.
Perfect.
I love this.
And as you
So
can
the
see,
length.
yeah, the length hits like pretty well on her ankle. It's not necessarily cutting her off or making her feel weird. It just is more of a maxi compared to Carolina, where it's more of a midi. And we just lean into that. We're not afraid of having that kind of put together.
And what I want to show you as well is one of the things is when you're thinking about your sizing, it really is like a push-pulley. So when you size down in one place, it does other things to the item of the clothing. So if Shruti wanted to have this skirt, it's weird fruit fly. If Shruti wanted this skirt to be a little bit shorter, of course, if she sized down, you're going to lose like an inch in length. But what is going to also happen is the skirt is going to be tighter around the high hip and the
Right.
waist, and it's going to sit up here.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose, you saw just for me to get it up this high, you lost another inch. So
Right.
sometimes when people size down to try and lose an inch, what happens is they put it on and they're like, Amy, I lost 3 inches. What happened? Your measurements are off. It's like you didn't lose 3 inches in terms of the physical garments laid up next to each other, but it's going to hit you in a different place. So if
Right.
you wanted this to actually be a lot shorter, you would just go down in size, and it's going to, be
Yeah.
a little more fitted up there. And if you're game for that, you're game
Right.
for it. So same with what Carolina's wearing. You're wearing the 29, but if you went down to a 30, you're going to drop down here and where the skirt's going to hit. So you're going to gain at least an inch from it sitting lower on your body, and then you're going to gain an inch because of the way that the skirt is graded. So these are all different ways where Carolina might say, okay, yes, I am at 29, but screw that, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to go with a 30 because I want this to sit a little bit lower and I want it to be a little bit longer. So this is what you're working towards, guys, is understanding what the different sizing does for you in terms of how the piece feels, rather than going to bed at night and thinking, why did Tibby say I was a 30 today? And
I actually changed
like-
my size even in 6.
Yeah.
I took different sizes and different colors depending on what I wanted.
What did you create?
Same actually.
Yeah.
I wanted the lighter one to be a little bit lower on me and like baggy feel, so I sized up for that. And then the regular ones are just. I even actually ordered the regular length also.
Amazing. Exactly. You're hearing it from two people.
Actually,
We're just
four
real people. Yeah.
Not including Amy.
And so what do you have in your
So
hand?
this is our Italian sporty nylon circle shirt dress from the summer. So it's kind of a similar talk to when we discuss midi skirts and when we discuss maxi skirts. This is going to be on someone of my heights, a midi skirt. It's going to hit here right about mid calf and then asymmetric down.
And then ditto for me, when I wear it, it's gonna be more of a maxi dress, but I absolutely lean into that. I love that idea, and it's the reason why I decided to invest in it, because I love the drama. And then it's nylon, as you guys already know, I love nylon in the summer. It's just one of those things that if I, spill a little bit of my wine on it, I'm okay. So, but
It's a one and done outfit.
one and done outfit,
Yeah.
and on two different heights and lifestyles. So.
Yeah, and I actually wore that one to my son's graduation. And it was quite long on me, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm good with
you
that.
see it all the time. Someone
Yeah.
of a shorter stature taking a midi, and it becomes a maxi dress on them. Or I have a midi skirt that I sized up in.
It was literally hitting me
Yeah.
all the way to the ground there. I know, my computer has all slump on it. Okay. So why don't we finish this up with Daphne and
Special
I
guest.
doing a Sid face-off here.
It's a good
Is
movie.
that-
Hi.
Sid face-
Sid face off.
Sid face-off, that's all. All right, so I'm wearing the longer length and you're wearing the shorter length here.
Yeah, right.
So you can see what happens in the longer length is I'm just having this more puddleage happening here. And then when you wear it shorter, it's kind of sticking out more in a little bit of a sculptural way because it's hitting right at the top. And then you're wearing a little bit of heel with yours. And then I'm wearing the flat here. And I really like this one because it's got this like long lean line coming out of it. And I think too, when you are looking at different things for different heights, remember it's not just throw a heel on and you're gonna feel taller, right? Sometimes a way to make you feel like you are more contiguous, and feeling like you're more contiguous is nice because it just feels very fluid, is by having a shoe that has a bit of a point or the bit of the skin coming
Yeah.
out. And so I find that if I were to be wearing a lighter pant here and then maybe like the squared off Brody, it's like you're cruising, and it's like screech, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of
I was
stuff,
wearing
right?
the Pedros and I felt like I need a little bit of skin with everything that was going on.
Yeah, so I think, and what I love too, like really trying to figure out, for us, this is the fall version of, what's his name? Rudy? Oh, because Rudolph was, I see, okay. This is Rudy, and Rudy's really nice. Rudy, I'm gonna say though, he's running about a half inch shorter in length here. And so I'm gonna tell you guys to size up a half at least here when you're doing the Rudy. And you've got buckles so you can adjust it. But with this toe shape and everything, I'm gonna tell you guys to size up a half size in this. But anyway, so what this point does is it really like keeps the look going continuously. But this is a straight up side-by-side example of the difference in the two lengths here. And again, really it comes down to the puddling because of the shape. It's never gonna really drag on the ground. And then the Sids here for fall actually have the little snaps on the bag because anything less is rude. If you do want to put snaps on the back of your pants, like some asshole did, and put them on the real wheel and then try to sell it as a Tibby pant, and someone wrote, they sent me like this janked up pant with
Wait.
Dang,
snaps, and they're like,
talk
Someone-
about the Tibby Chronicles.
I know. It was like, anyway, so don't do that. Don't go get a fake
What?
pant and do that. But what I am saying is you can buy snap tape at, I don't know, any kind of craft store or something, right? But you can buy snap tape and stitch it to the inside, and that way that is your good shortening tool. So guys, the takeaway here is Do not focus so much on the size. If you are this tall or if you are this tall, yes, you can wear it. And you may not wear it in exactly the same way every time, but there are definitely ways for you to manipulate it that you're going to find interesting and feel the way that you want to feel. Oh, real quickly, I am wearing the distressed little sweater here. Okay, so that is, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, sorry guys.
Good. One
Wait,
more
come
look.
on, we got one more. Let's go. Yay, sorry.
Just one more look, guys, and then all we want to do, we're just highlight the Winslow pants that we just
Yeah,
brought,
let's bring
like
Brittany in here,
debuted
too.
for fall. And again,
Oh, Brittany.
this is the regular as well as the petite. And just in great news, we offered snaps on both styles. Oh, and Brittany!
And Brittany's wearing
We love
Amazing.
this pants.
Exactly.
You guys should each do like a runway walk towards your like,
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
you
Like a
go
walk
first,
off.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek goes first.
yeah.
So I'm so
I'll do
in
it.
love with this pant. And so for the sweatsuiting, you guys know we've really just been doing the Calder. And so this is the next sweatsuiting pant that we have added to the mix. It is such a level of design. And I just want to tell you from an investment point of view, you are getting a lot of pant and design for this price. Because Carolina and I do the pricing together each season, and Carolina was like, no.
I continuously tell Amy off for too low prices.
Yeah, she does. And you know what, guys, though? The thing is the more that we're doing this kind of selling directly with you guys, and the more that we're selling directly through accounts who are amazing partners, like I mentioned, Max and McMullen and Kickbleed and Shani Weiss and all these great guys that we work with, Grace in Melbourne, Australia, Walk Store Milan. Because we are working with such amazing partners, Carolina, we can do this, right?
Yes, we can.
We can have
Yes, we
we
can.
have more value in the pricing. Yay. So anyways, it's a super good pant. Stay tuned. We've got another segment coming up. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we have 3 more segments to go.
3, wow.
All right.